Beloved chosen one, heaven has interrupted your ordinary day for an extraordinary reason. This moment right now is not an accident. It is divine timing. You have stepped into the threshold of your final battle, the one every tear, every silence, and every hidden season has been preparing you for. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because heaven has summoned you to stand. The atmosphere has shifted, and the heavens are leaning in to see what you will do next. For too long, you have fought battles no one saw. You stood in the shadows, carrying burdens that would have crushed others. Yet you did not break. You were forged. Heaven watched as you kept walking when you should have fallen, as you kept believing when hope felt foolish. And now, you stand on holy ground where purpose meets perseverance. This is not another fight. This is the fight. The final confrontation that will mark the turning of your destiny. Listen carefully. The Spirit is saying, do not retreat. Everything in your life has led here, the rejection, the isolation, the losses, even the delays. Each of them was divine training. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to carry fire. And that fire now burns brighter because of what you endured. You are the light that darkness fears, the voice that silence cannot mute, the one God has marked for the final stand. Can you feel it? The tension in your soul is not confusion, it is the sound of heaven's trumpet calling you to position. The world feels heavier because the battle is closing in, but so is victory. The signs around you are not chaos. They are contractions before the birth of a promise. You are not being crushed, you are being crowned. Heaven has always known your name, even when people forgot it. The enemy tried to make you believe you were overlooked, but you were actually being hidden until the appointed time. And that time has come. You are about to rise in strength that does not make sense to those who once doubted you. The same people who dismissed you will witness what happens when a chosen one refuses to quit. Every warrior of God must face a moment like this, a moment when the noise of fear demands your surrender. But your spirit knows something the world does not. You were not made to run. You were made to reign. Heaven has assigned angels around you even now. Your destiny is not collapsing, it is unfolding. Every delay has been preparation. Every loss has been strategy. You are stepping into divine orchestration. Do you remember the times you thought you couldn't make it? The nights when sleep wouldn't come? When tears became prayers no one heard, heaven heard them all. Nothing was wasted. Those silent cries built the altar of your calling. And now, fire from heaven is about to fall upon that altar. Stand tall. Chosen one. This is your last battle, not because you will never fight again, but because, after this, you will never fight the same way again. You are crossing from survival to sovereignty, from pain to power. The trembling you feel is not fear, it is awakening. The time of hiding is over. The trumpet has sounded, and your orders are clear. Stand strong to the end. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This is your assurance. Even in the valley, you are not alone. The shadow cannot exist without light, and that light is within you. You are walking through, not staying in. Every shadow is temporary, every promise is eternal. So take a deep breath, lift your head, and remember who you are. You are God's chosen one. You are anointed to finish strong. The heavens have declared it, and the earth will soon echo it. The enemy knows it too, that's why the warfare intensified. But what the enemy doesn't realize is that your endurance is his defeat. This message is not for everyone, it is for the few who know they were chosen for the final stand. If you feel the weight of this truth pressing on your spirit, it's because heaven is confirming your identity. Stand firm. You are part of a divine remnant rising. Before this day ends, take a prophetic step of obedience. Let heaven know you heard the call. Like, share, and subscribe so the flame of this message spreads to every warrior still fighting in silence. Then, as an act of faith, comment the number 777 below, the number of divine completion. It is your declaration that you will stand strong to the end. You remember every tear that fell when no one was watching, every night that seemed endless, every door that closed right when you thought breakthrough was near. The weight of every trial has shaped you more than you know. What others saw as misfortune, heaven saw as formation. Every rejection refined your discernment. Every betrayal trained your heart to trust only in divine strength. You didn't realize it then, but the pain was carving out room for the glory that would one day dwell within you. Chosen one. There is a kind of strength that can only be born in struggle. The easy roads never built the kind of warriors heaven sends into the fiercest battles. You were chosen to endure what others could not. Each time you fell and rose again, something inside you was forged unshakable faith. You've been through storms that should have destroyed you, yet you walk among the ruins with a quiet fire in your eyes. That is the evidence of grace at work. There were days when your heart whispered, "Why me?" and heaven replied, "Because I can trust you with the weight." The truth is, the anointing that rests on you came at a cost. You've paid it with your tears, your silence, and your obedience when it hurt the most. You have carried burdens others ran from, and that is why heaven calls you chosen. Do you see it now? The things that broke you were also building you. The losses that emptied your hands were preparing you to hold something greater. God never wastes pain. Every scar is a signature of his faithfulness. The sleepless nights, the restless thoughts, the moments when you questioned your worth, all of it became the soil where endurance grew. You were not abandoned, you were being strengthened in secret. When people turned away, you learned to lean on divine presence. When resources ran dry, you discovered the fountain that never empties. Your survival is not luck, it is proof of purpose. The hand of God has carried you through valleys where others lost themselves. And now, that same hand is positioning you for something far beyond recovery, its resurrection. There is a holy mystery hidden in suffering. The deeper the wound, the greater the glory that will fill it. You have tasted sorrow, but joy is coming with a weight that will heal what sorrow could not. You are not defined by what you lost, but by the strength you found in loss. Every season of waiting was a sacred appointment, not a punishment. Heaven's silence was not rejection, it was protection. There's something the Spirit is revealing now. The reason the enemy attacked you so fiercely is because he saw what was being built in the unseen. He recognized your potential before you did. He fought you early to prevent this moment. But every strike only sharpened your faith. You became more dangerous with every disappointment, because every wound turned into wisdom. Chosen one. This is why heaven calls you unstoppable. Not because life has been easy, but because you refused to quit when it was hard. The very weight that tried to crush you became your crown. You've learned to praise in pain, to worship when weary, to trust when nothing made sense. And that, beloved, is the kind of faith that moves mountains. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, and we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. This truth is not a comfort for the future, it is a confirmation of what is already unfolding. All things, not some things, every tear, every delay, every disappointment is being woven into a tapestry of divine purpose. You might not see the full pattern yet, but heaven is aligning every thread. So, do not despise the weight you carry. It is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to define you. The gold is revealed only when the fire has done its work. You are that gold, purified, strengthened, prepared. The world may see the surface, but heaven sees the radiance underneath. Soon, you will look back and realize nothing was wasted. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every closed door, each one was necessary to lead you to the strength you now hold. You were being refined for this very moment. The moment when your endurance becomes your testimony. Hold that truth close. Chosen one, the battle may be long, but your preparation has made you ready. You've walked through fire and found your faith still intact. That is not weakness, it is divine resilience. The same God who carried you through will carry you forward. The weight was never meant to bury you. It was meant to build you into the unshakable vessel you are now. There were moments when heaven seemed silent, when you prayed, but the sky felt like stone, when your heart cried out for direction, but all you heard was echoing stillness. You thought maybe you'd been forgotten, left behind in the waiting. But now, chosen one, you are about to understand the mystery of silence. The moments when heaven said nothing were never moments of absence, they were moments of construction. When heaven goes quiet, it is not rejection, it is revelation in disguise. God hides his greatest work behind the veil of stillness. He teaches you to listen beyond sound, to hear with your spirit when your ears cannot find words. You have walked through seasons where answers didn't come, where doors refused to open, and it felt as if every promise was suspended in midair. But what if that silence was God sharpening your spiritual senses? You see, when God speaks too soon, we stop listening, but when he goes silent, we learn to lean. In that quiet, you discovered strength you didn't know you had. You began to discern the faintest whispers of divine instruction, the kind that can only be heard by those who refuse to give up. You were not being ignored, you were being invited into intimacy. Remember, the silence you endured was never empty. It was filled with heaven's strategy. While you wept in confusion, angels were rearranging paths you couldn't see. While you thought you were standing still, God was preparing the way before you. Every delay was divine protection from something that would have broken you prematurely. You didn't miss your moment, you were being hidden until the moment was safe. There's a sacred strength in those who can worship through the silence. Anyone can praise in the light, but only the chosen learn to sing in the dark. You, beloved, have done that. Every quiet prayer, every whispered, "I still trust you," became a song that reached heaven louder than any shout. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 30. Verse 15, in quietness and in trust shall be your strength. These are not just poetic words, they are a divine principle. Heaven's power flows most freely through those who know how to rest in trust. When you stopped striving, peace entered. When you stopped forcing what wasn't ready, God began shaping what would last. The silence became your sanctuary. Do you realize what that means? You are no longer the same person who once begged for answers. You are now someone who carries revelation. You've been trained to recognize the still, small voice that guides destinies. What once frustrated you now fuels your faith. You've learned that God doesn't always speak in thunder. Sometimes he speaks in a whisper meant only for his chosen one. Your waiting season has not been wasted. It's been your greatest education. The silence taught you patience, humility, and discernment. It stripped away your dependence on people's validation and taught you to rely on divine confirmation. The wilderness you feared became the classroom that matured your spirit. You have to understand, heaven's silence is never passive. It is purposeful. God withholds words when he's performing wonders. While you thought nothing was happening, the roots of your destiny were going deeper, anchoring you for the storms ahead. Silence doesn't mean nothing is growing. It means what's growing is sacred. The time of silence is ending. And now the echoes of purpose begin to stir. You're about to hear clearly again, but this time with refined perception. You won't just hear promises, you'll recognize instruction. You won't just feel inspiration, you'll receive strategy. That's what the silence prepared you for, the ability to discern not just God's voice, but his timing. So don't resent the quiet. The quiet was your consecration. You didn't know it then, but your patience was building spiritual authority. That's why the next word you hear from heaven will carry weight, because it will come to a heart that's been purified by stillness. Take a deep breath now. Remember those nights when you felt nothing but emptiness. Look how far you've come. You're still here, still believing, still carrying a flame that silence could not extinguish. That is power. That is proof that you've been trained for the higher realms of faith. Now, it's time to seal what heaven has done in your silence. If this word resonates deep within your spirit, if you've walked through that quiet and felt heaven shaping you, even in the unseen, then declare it publicly. Type the words "I still trust" below. This is not just a comment, it's a covenant. When you write those words, you're not typing for attention, you're declaring alignment. You're telling heaven, even when you're silent, I still trust. You're letting darkness know that silence cannot shake your faith. Every time you affirm that truth, it reverberates through the unseen realm like thunder. You have endured silence and emerged stronger. You have learned to find divine presence in what felt like emptiness. You are the living proof that faith doesn't need noise, it only needs endurance. And that endurance has made you unstoppable. The silence was never the end. It was the sacred beginning of your next awakening. The storm, chosen one, has always been the sacred language of heaven. It roars to wake what has slept inside you. It comes not to destroy, but to draw you closer, to teach you to hear the voice that only speaks through the wind. You have feared the shaking, but it was never punishment. It was invitation. Every storm you faced had a hidden purpose, a divine whisper buried in the thunder. When the winds howled around you, when everything familiar began to crumble, you thought you were losing control. But what if that loss of control was grace What if heaven was stripping away everything false so you could stand on truth that cannot be moved? The storm does not come to break you, it comes to reveal what cannot be broken. You have always been stronger than you knew. But storms are how heaven proves it to you. You remember how you prayed for peace. But instead of silence, the storm intensified. You thought God had turned away. But he hadn't. He was speaking in a different frequency, one only the faithful can hear. He was saying, "Hold steady. I am here." And even though you could not see him, his presence filled the chaos. You didn't notice it then. But every gust that tried to knock you down only drove your roots deeper. Every wave that rose against you taught your heart to trust the unseen. There's a secret you are learning now. Storms have voices. They don't just test your strength, they train your hearing. The reason heaven allows storms is to teach you to recognize the whisper of God even when the world is screaming. For it's only in the midst of the storm that you can truly tell who speaks peace and who speaks fear. You were being trained to discern, not destroyed. You may have thought you were fighting for survival, but heaven was building sensitivity within you. The wind that howled was not random, it was refining. You learned to hold still when everything else moved, to stay faithful when no one understood, to keep listening even when there was no visible sign. And now you carry something rare, calm authority in the midst of chaos. Heaven speaks gently but unmistakably through the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39. He arose and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Those words were not only for the disciples trembling in the boat, they were also for you. The same voice that silenced the sea now speaks inside your spirit. That command, "Peace, be still," was not just to the waves around you, but to the storms within you. The moment you chose faith over fear, heaven's calm entered your soul. You became the stillness the storm could not shake. It's no small thing, chosen one, to remain faithful when the sky turns black. The storm reveals what belief truly means. Anyone can praise under sunlight, but it takes divine strength to worship through thunder. You have done that. You have sung through sorrow, stood through uncertainty, and found your footing on waters meant to drown you. Heaven saw that. Heaven recorded every moment of your perseverance as worship. You didn't realize it then. But while the storm raged around you, the very sound of your endurance became a song in the courts of heaven. Every time you chose hope instead of despair, the angels marked it. Every breath that whispered, "I still believe," became a declaration that shook the unseen realm. That is why your storms were so fierce, because your faith was making noise in places hell could hear. Now, as you look back, the pattern becomes clear. Each storm carried revelation. Each wave held wisdom. What once felt like chaos was choreography, divine precision, shaping you for your calling. You were being trained to stand in storms so you could later speak to them. And now, your words will carry the same authority that once calmed the sea. Do you see it? The storm was never the enemy. It was your initiation. It was heaven's way of proving that the peace inside you is greater than the chaos outside. The whisper you hear now is the same that echoed from the beginning. You are mine. You are safe. You will not be moved. So, stand in that truth. The same God who commands the storm surrounds you. You are no longer waiting for calm, you carry it. You are no longer running from the storm, you walk through it, clothed in peace. And as you do, heaven looks down and smiles. Because the lesson has taken root, you have learned to hear God in the very place you once feared him most. Chosen one. The storm was never a sign that you were abandoned. It was proof that you were trusted. Heaven knew you could withstand it. And now that the winds begin to quiet and the clouds begin to part, you will find that what remains is unshakable: your faith, your peace, and your destiny. The whisper of God has become your compass, and nothing can silence it again. You rise, chosen one. The dust of past battles still clings to your armor. But there's light in your eyes now, light that wasn't there before. You've walked through valleys and storms, and now heaven whispers, "Stand, you are no longer the same." The timid soul who once questioned their worth has become a soldier of light. Fierce yet tender, powerful yet humble, you are rising not because the world finally sees you, but because heaven always did. Every warrior has a moment when they realize their strength was never their own. This is yours. You feel it, the pulse of purpose beating inside your chest. It's not pride, it's calling. You have survived too much to doubt now. The same God who brought you through the shadows is about to reveal why he kept you alive. The battles you thought were breaking you were actually building your command. You are not just surviving, you are ascending. Heaven has written your name among those who carry divine assignments. The light you bear is not decorative, it is defensive. When you walk, the darkness trembles, not because of who you are, but because of who stands within you. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11, put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the schemes of the devil. Those words are your marching orders. The armor you wear is invisible but unbreakable truth on your waist, righteousness on your chest, faith as your shield. You are no longer fighting like one uncertain of the outcome. You fight as one who knows victory is written. Every scar has become scripture on your skin, declaring, "I am still here." Now, hear this carefully. Rising is not about recognition, it's about responsibility. The crown of light that rests upon you is not for decoration, it's for illumination. Your story carries healing for someone else's wound. Your endurance is a map for another traveler lost in darkness. Every time you speak hope, you're building bridges where others saw only walls. You, chosen one, are becoming a lighthouse. Ships lost in the fog will look toward your glow and find direction. Some will never know your name, but they'll survive because your light existed. That's what divine warriors do. They shine quietly, faithfully, until others find safe harbor. But light requires fuel. Even a lighthouse must be maintained. The flame must be fed. In the same way, the message you carry, the platform that allows this light to reach others, survives only when the family of faith supports its fire. So, if this message has stirred something inside you, if it has reminded you of who you are and what you carry, help keep the light burning. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you're not just interacting with words, you're spreading flame. You're helping this message reach another soul trembling in the dark. Every share is a spark. Every subscription is another torch passed forward. And if your heart is moved to do more, to pour back into what has poured into you, consider supporting the mission through a humble offering. Every donation, no matter the size, becomes a drop of oil that keeps the lamp lit. This is not about obligation, it's about participation in the divine. You are not funding a person, you are fueling a purpose. Like the widow who gave her last coin, your act of giving becomes part of heaven's equation for miracles. Let this not feel transactional, but sacred. Imagine a garden, each like is a seed, each share a ray of sunlight, each donation a stream of water. Together, they sustain the growth of a message that feeds countless souls who are still wandering. You may never meet them, but heaven will record your kindness. There's a reason heaven keeps bringing you back here. You are part of something bigger than yourself, a divine movement of voices awakened, hearts rekindled, destinies restored. You are not just listening to a message, you are living it. Every word is a mirror reflecting what heaven already sees in you. Rise, soldier of light. Lift your head and remember what you carry. You are the proof that light wins. Every breath you take now carries authority. Every step you make shakes the ground beneath darkness. You are not a spectator in this battle. You are a key participant in heaven's unfolding victory. So, carry your sword, keep your flame alive, and let your life preach louder than any sermon. The world is desperate for hope, and you are its reminder that God still speaks, still moves, still reigns. You are his living testimony, his chosen soldier clothed in grace and glory. Let the words echo in your heart tonight. You are not fighting alone. A divine army surrounds you, and every act of faith, generosity, and courage multiplies their reach. Together, we hold the line. Together, we shine. You, chosen one, are rising not as a lone warrior, but as part of an eternal battalion of light. Keep the armor tight, the flame steady, and the heart pure. And as you do, heaven smiles, because you have embraced your calling with both courage and compassion. There comes a moment, chosen one, when the dividing line becomes visible, when heaven draws a boundary that can no longer be blurred. You have reached that moment now. The line in the sand is before you. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle stirring in your spirit, that undeniable awareness that a decision must be made. You can no longer walk halfway between surrender and hesitation. Heaven is calling for clarity, and you must choose your side. Every destiny reaches this place, the point where comfort and calling collide. It is never easy, because the familiar feels safer than the unknown. Yet safety is the language of stagnation, while faith speaks the dialect of destiny. You have not been chosen to live half awake. The same God who began the fire within you now invites you to walk fully in its flame. You were not created to blend in, you were created to burn brightly. Even if that light exposes what others hide. This is the hour of separation. The lukewarm will step back, but the devoted will step forward. It's not about perfection, it's about obedience. Heaven is searching for those whose yes still means yes, even when it costs comfort. You have been tested long enough in the shadows. Now, heaven commands you to cross the line, to declare, not just with words, but with life, where your allegiance lies. Heaven speaks through the prophet Elijah in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. That ancient challenge now echoes in your own heart. You cannot serve two masters, cannot cling to fear while claiming faith. You must step where heaven steps, even if it means standing alone. The world may not understand, but heaven does not need their approval. It seeks your obedience. You have carried promises too sacred to leave unfulfilled. There is a weight on your shoulders that is not punishment, it's purpose. You feel the urgency because time is shortening, divine alignment is accelerating. Heaven is gathering its warriors, those who will stand firm when compromise becomes the culture. You are one of them. You were never meant to blend in with the background. You were meant to carry the standard of light into the battlefield of deception. Look closely at this moment. It is not just another day, it is a prophetic intersection. Behind you lies the comfort of yesterday. Before you lies the call of eternity. And though your knees may tremble, your spirit already knows the answer. You were never built to return to what God has already freed you from. Crossing this line will cost you, but it will also crown you. Some relationships will fade. Some opportunities will vanish. But what remains will be pure. Heaven always subtracts before it multiplies. When you let go of what drains you, you make room for what sustains you. This is divine mathematics. Loss turns into leverage. Pruning becomes preparation. Do not fear the loneliness that follows obedience. Every chosen one walks through the desert of separation before entering their destiny. Abraham left his homeland. Moses left the palace. Ruth left her past. Jesus himself left the crowd to commune with the Father. You are walking the same holy path. The wilderness is not the end, it is the corridor of transformation. And when you step fully across that line, something shifts. Heaven recognizes the move. Angels take position. The atmosphere around you begins to rearrange itself in alignment with your obedience. It may not be visible at first, but your spirit will feel it, peace replacing fear, clarity silencing confusion. You'll know you're on the right side because the battle will intensify. Darkness always fights hardest when it's losing ground. Do not mistake warfare for warning. The increase in resistance is proof that your breakthrough has been activated. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you have become effective. The enemy recognizes your authority even before you do. That is why he's trying so desperately to lure you back into hesitation. But this time, you know better. This time, you stand firm. Breathe deeply now. Let your heart settle. The line is before you. You have carried enough pain, enough delay, enough confusion. This is your moment to decide to declare silently within your soul, I choose obedience. I choose light. I choose truth. And when you do, all of heaven will take note. There will be no need for applause. The approval of heaven is enough. You will stand taller, walk stronger, and move forward with holy confidence. For on this side of the line, fear cannot follow you. Chosen one, if this word burns in your spirit, if you feel the tug of destiny calling you to cross the line without looking back, let heaven witness your response. Comment the number 444 below. It is more than a number, it is a prophetic symbol. 4 represents completion of cycles and establishment of foundations. By writing it, you declare, I am rooted. I am firm. I am aligned. It is your silent agreement with heaven that you have chosen your side once and for all. The line is drawn. The choice is made. And heaven records your courage. This is the moment when destiny solidifies, when hesitation dies, and when divine identity takes full form. Stand boldly. Chosen one, you have crossed the line. And there is no turning back. You stand now, chosen one, not empty-handed but equipped. What once felt like weakness has become weaponry. The unseen realm recognizes your readiness. Every tear that fell, every prayer uttered in solitude, has forged something powerful within you, armor not made of steel, but of faith. The time for hiding has passed. Now, you must learn to wield what heaven has placed in your hands. This armor is not like the world's. It cannot be touched, stolen, or rusted. It is forged in prayer, tempered by endurance, and polished by obedience. The world may see nothing on your shoulders, yet the heavens see a warrior clothed in divine strength. The radiance of your obedience blinds the darkness. Every morning you rise. Unseen light surrounds you, a signal to both heaven and hell that you belong to the Commander of Hosts. Do you remember when you used to pray for protection? Heaven answered by teaching you to fight. You thought you were being attacked, but you were being trained. Every conflict was instruction, every disappointment a hidden lesson in strategy. You have learned to discern where the real battle lies, not in the people who misunderstand you, but in the unseen forces that try to silence your voice. According to what is revealed in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. That is the secret you carry now, the understanding that not all wars are visible. The enemy's most dangerous attacks are not physical but psychological. He aims for the mind, the emotions, the will. He tries to make you question what God already confirmed. That is why your greatest weapon is not anger, it is awareness. The moment you see the scheme, you break its power. Prayer is your sword. Worship your shield. Truth, your armor. These are not rituals, they are realms. Every word spoken in faith becomes a strike in the spirit. Every moment you choose peace instead of panic, heaven advances. You may not hear the sound of swords clashing, but make no mistake, your obedience shakes kingdoms. You are part of a war older than time. Yet you are not a casualty. You are a commander. The light within you does not merely resist darkness, it dominates it. When you speak, the unseen responds. When you declare truth, lies unravel. When you walk in purity, corruption flees. This is what the armor does. It multiplies your influence in the spiritual realm. But armor is not enough without alignment. You cannot wear righteousness and walk in resentment. You cannot hold truth and still feed fear. Heaven's armor functions only in harmony with heaven's heart. You must remain surrendered, not half, but whole. Each piece of armor fastens tighter with every act of humility. Every yes to God strengthens your defense. Every no to compromise polishes your sword. You will notice how your perspective begins to change. What used to terrify you now reveals itself as training. You see the traps of the enemy before they form. You no longer fight for victory, you fight from it. The cross already secured your triumph. Your task is simply to enforce it. The more you walk in awareness, the less you struggle in fear. Chosen one, you are learning the rhythm of spiritual warfare, stillness before strategy, prayer before power, surrender before strength. The enemy wants noise, panic, reaction, distraction, but heaven moves in precision and peace. This is why you must guard your inner world fiercely. The state of your spirit determines the success of your stance. Every morning, when your feet touch the floor, remind the unseen realm who you are. Say within yourself, I am armored, I am covered, I am chosen, and mean it. That declaration realigns you with divine authority. It is not pride, it is position. You are not boasting, you are acknowledging the covenant. Do not underestimate small acts of faith. When you pray over your day, when you bless your home, when you speak life instead of complaint, you are swinging your sword. Every act of faithfulness disrupts the enemy's design. Consistency is warfare. Gratitude is warfare. Forgiveness is warfare. The darkness cannot stand against a heart that refuses to turn bitter. And when you feel weary, when your armor feels heavy, remember, the strength you carry does not come from you. It flows through you. You are the vessel, not the source. Heaven refills what you release. Every act of obedience opens the flow wider. You will never run dry if you keep pouring out what was poured in. The day will come when others will ask how you endured, how you stood through what broke them. You will smile quietly, for you will know it wasn't by might or by power, but by spirit. The unseen armor will gleam brighter than ever, not because you never fell, but because you learned to rise every time. Chosen one, hold your position. The battle belongs to the Lord, but the stance belongs to you. Stand firm in truth, steady in faith, wrapped in peace. You are not merely surviving spiritual warfare, you are mastering it. And as you do, heaven records your victories, not as moments of pride, but as proof that faith works. The greatest battlefield, chosen one, has never been the world outside. It has always been the one within. Long before the enemy wages war in your circumstances, he wages it in your thoughts. Every whisper of doubt, every surge of fear, every echo of inadequacy, these are not random emotions, but targeted attacks on your identity. The mind is the gate through which either peace or torment enters. And you, beloved, are learning to guard that gate. You have seen how subtle the battle can be. It begins as a quiet suggestion, a thought that questions what God already confirmed. Are you sure you're called? Are you sure you're strong enough? Are you sure you're loved? These questions sound harmless, but they carry poison. If left unchecked, they grow into vines that strangle your confidence. The enemy knows he cannot steal your destiny, so he tries to make you doubt it. But once you recognize his voice, you disarm him completely. The war for your mind is not about information, it's about influence. The one who shapes your thoughts shapes your future. That is why you must fill your inner world with truth. You cannot win spiritual wars while feeding mental lies. The same mouth that speaks faith cannot entertain fear without consequence. Your words are mirrors of your meditations. What you rehearse becomes what you release. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Every thought is a seed. If you allow fear to plant itself, you will reap anxiety. If you allow hope to take root, you will harvest peace. Heaven has entrusted you with the soil of your mind. You decide what grows there. You are not a prisoner of your thoughts. You are their gatekeeper. The moment you realize this, you regain your authority. This battle within requires awareness more than aggression. You do not overcome darkness by shouting at it, but by shining light on it. Every time you pause to filter your thoughts through the lens of truth, you reclaim territory. When you stop feeding the lies that tell you you can't, and start nurturing the truth that says God already did, your internal climate changes. Understand this. Chosen one, the enemy's main strategy is to exhaust you mentally. He knows a weary mind produces a weakened spirit. That is why his attacks are subtle, repetitive, and emotional. He doesn't need to destroy you physically if he can convince you to self-destruct internally. That's why you must guard your focus like a soldier guards his weapon. Peace is not the absence of warfare, it is mastery over it. You will not always control what thoughts appear, but you can decide which ones stay. When darkness whispers, "You failed too many times," respond with truth. Grace still speaks my name. When fear says, "You're alone," remind it, "He will never leave me nor forsake me." These are not cliches, they are declarations that fortify your spirit. Renewing the mind is daily discipline. Like sharpening a sword, it is not a one-time victory, but a continual practice of alignment. Some mornings, your thoughts will rise like storms, demanding your attention. But instead of panicking, you will now know what to do. You will speak peace to your own mind. You will breathe truth into your own spirit. You will silence lies with remembrance. You are not fighting to earn worth. You are fighting to protect it. The blood of Christ already marked you as victorious. The battle is not to become free, it is to remain aware that you are free. The mind, once renewed, becomes the throne room of divine clarity. That is where visions are born, where peace reigns, where destiny speaks. So, pay attention to what you allow in that sacred space. Not every thought deserves audience. Some ideas must be evicted immediately. Some memories must be released with forgiveness. The more room you make for light, the less space darkness can occupy. There will come days when your mind feels heavy again. When the old voices try to return, do not despair. Even warriors need to reset their armor. Simply return to truth. Speak it aloud until your spirit believes it again. The word of God is not merely a sword, it is medicine for the mind. It rewires despair into determination, confusion into clarity, and fear into faith. Chosen one, remember, victory begins inside. You can't conquer what you haven't confronted, and you can't confront what you won't acknowledge. So acknowledge, confront, and then replace. Replace lies with promises, anxiety with assurance, and shame with strength. As your mind renews, your world will reflect it. For when the battlefield of the mind is won, every other battle bows in submission. That is the power of divine renewal. It doesn't just change your thoughts, it transforms your destiny. Something has changed. Chosen one. The atmosphere around you feels different, not heavier, but charged. It is not imagination. The darkness has noticed you. The unseen realm trembles because your light has grown stronger, brighter, and far more dangerous to the enemy's agenda. You may not fully understand the weight of that, but hell does. The very forces that once toyed with your weakness now recognize your authority. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. Conversations pause, not because of who you are in the flesh, but because of what you carry in the spirit. The enemy knows the mark of divine favor when he sees it. You've been sealed, chosen, and commissioned by heaven. And when you operate in that identity, darkness has no choice but to respond. The Spirit spoke through the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19. I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. This is why warfare increased when you decided to walk righteously. The darkness recognized the danger of your awakening. The enemy no longer fears casual believers. He fears awakened warriors. He fears those who know their identity, who understand that their voice carries the resonance of heaven. When you speak truth, demons scatter because your words echo the tone of your King. You are learning now that not every battle requires visible confrontation. Sometimes your very presence is confrontation enough. You are the evidence of God's victory, walking on enemy territory. You are a reminder to darkness that its time is short. Every step you take radiates defiance against despair. You have to understand, chosen one, your warfare is not punishment, it's confirmation. The intensity of the opposition reveals the magnitude of your assignment. The more the darkness resists, the clearer it becomes that you are advancing in the right direction. The fact that hell has recognized your name means heaven has already written it in light. But with recognition comes responsibility. You can't carry this authority carelessly. You must walk in humility. For arrogance is the crack in the armor that pride exploits. Authority without humility becomes noise. Authority with humility becomes impact. The darkness flees not because you shout, but because you stand surrendered. Obedience is your loudest weapon. Every time you pray, the unseen realm rearranges. Every time you forgive when you could have fought, the enemy loses ground. Every time you worship through pain, light floods places that darkness claimed. That is your real power. It's not in aggression, but in alignment. You don't fight to prove strength. You stand to prove faith. The enemy recognizes what heaven has built in you. That's why your battles have felt personal, because they are. You are a threat. You disrupt generational cycles, dismantle demonic patterns, and break agreements your ancestors didn't know they made. You carry a lineage of deliverance. When you pray, chains don't just fall in your life, they fall in your bloodline. But hear this, awareness must not turn into fear. The recognition of darkness is not a curse, it's a crown. It means you're finally walking in your divine position. You have become what heaven calls a light bearer in a hostile world. The moment you stop hiding your glow, the world will change around you. You were never called to blend in, you were called to disrupt. Chosen one. Let the weight of that sink in. You don't need to seek validation anymore. Heaven's acknowledgement is enough. You are not fighting for approval, you are fighting from victory. Every prayer you whisper now carries legislative power in the spirit realm. Your words rewrite atmospheres. Your faith enforces divine decrees. You are no longer reacting, you are ruling. This is why, even when fear tries to return, you can smile, because fear is a trespasser on land that no longer belongs to it. The battlefield that once terrified you is now your inheritance. You stand on it not as a victim, but as a victor. You carry the authority of one who has seen both sides, darkness and dawn, and has chosen to stand with the light. So now, chosen one, seal this truth with a declaration. If this message resonates in your spirit, if you feel heaven confirming your authority even as you read, type these words in, Faith, I carry light. This is not a casual comment. It is a prophetic statement. When you write it, you're not just engaging, you're enforcing. You're declaring that no matter what comes, no matter how fierce the opposition, you will continue to radiate divine power. You're telling the unseen realm that you are aware, awake, and aligned. Every time someone declares it, the darkness loses a little more ground. Every I carry light becomes a spark in the global army of chosen ones rising together. You are not alone. Others are awakening too. Together, your voices form a chorus that declares to the world, light still reigns. So stand tall. Radiant one, let your light speak. The darkness has recognized you, but soon it will fear you. You can feel it. Chosen one, the chains that once held you are starting to rattle. They have grown weak under the weight of your worship, brittle beneath the heat of your obedience. You are standing at the moment of release, where captivity begins to collapse. The breaking of chains is not only about freedom, it's about identity. What is being loosed is not just your circumstance, it is your true self. The one heaven designed before pain ever tried to define you. You have been bound by invisible ropes, fear, shame, old memories that whispered, "You'll never rise." Yet every whisper of limitation has met its expiration. The power of those old chains was never in their strength, but in your agreement with them. Once you stop agreeing with bondage, heaven begins to intervene. The moment you said, "No more," something in the unseen realm started to shake. There were seasons when it seemed those chains were permanent cycles of failure, habits that seemed unbreakable, wounds that never fully healed. You tried to walk forward, but something kept pulling you back. What you didn't know then is that every tug was heaven testing your endurance. Every setback was resistance training for your spirit. You were learning how to fight for freedom not as a beggar, but as an heir. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 107, verse 14, "He brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death and broke their chains apart." That verse is your mirror. It is what heaven has been doing in silence, pulling you out of shadow, out of shame, into unshakable light. You were never meant to drag your chains into the next season. They had their purpose. They taught you compassion, empathy, and dependence, but they cannot cross the threshold of destiny with you. The breaking has already begun. It doesn't always happen in a single moment of noise or emotion. Sometimes chains break quietly when you forgive instead of retaliate, when you choose healing over bitterness, when you speak life instead of repeating pain. Each of those decisions is a link snapping. Freedom often begins in whispers before it thunders in the open. Chosen one, look closely. The heaviness you felt is not defeat, it's the weight of old chains losing grip. Your restlessness is resurrection stirring. The past cannot hold what has been anointed for purpose. You are walking out of cycles that once defined your entire existence. Every step you take in obedience is a sound of chains breaking in the spirit. Freedom requires courage, because every familiar chain will try to convince you to stay. Bondage argues with breakthrough. It tells you it's safer to remain where you were, to cling to old habits because at least you understand them. But you, beloved, are learning to love the unknown, because the unknown is where God reveals himself. The walls that once enclosed you are not prisons anymore. They are memories of what could not contain you. This is where your testimony begins, not when everything looks perfect, but when you realize you are no longer bound to what broke you. You can still see the marks where the chains were, but now they shine like proof that deliverance is real. You are evidence that grace still sets captives free. And this message, this voice reaching you now, is not only about your freedom, it's about the countless others still trapped in silence, waiting for someone like you to rise and speak light into their dark places. The world is full of hidden captives, wearing smiles over invisible shackles. But when they hear your story, when they see your courage, something in them will stir. That's how heaven multiplies liberation through testimony. So, if these words touch your heart, if you feel the truth of your own freedom rising as you read, don't let it stop here. Help this message travel to another chained heart. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not performing a routine, you are opening a door. You are carrying this sound of freedom into another's storm. Every share becomes a key. Every new listener becomes another link in heaven's rescue chain. Let this be your gentle act of defiance against silence. You don't have to shout, you just have to shine. The story of your freedom is not meant to be hidden, it's meant to echo. Somewhere, someone is praying the same prayer you once did. And this might be the answer they're waiting for. Chosen one. You are walking proof that no chain is eternal. No past is too heavy. No wound too deep for redemption. The sound of freedom follows you now. When you speak, shackles tremble. When you move, barriers weaken. You carry the same power that raised you up, the power that still breaks, still heals, still restores. So walk boldly into the light, unbound and unashamed. You are not what you survived, you are what was revealed through survival. Heaven calls your freedom complete, and the earth will soon echo the same. The night always feels longest just before the dawn. You know that truth now. Chosen one. You felt it in your bones, the ache of waiting, the uncertainty of silence, the heavy stillness of your own breath echoing in the dark. The midnight test is not for the faint of heart. It is the hour when every distraction is stripped away and only faith remains. It is the proving ground of the soul, where belief is tested without witnesses and trust must stand without applause. You have walked through nights like that when your prayers hit ceilings, when your tears felt unanswered, when promises seemed too distant to still be real. You questioned whether you had misunderstood heaven, whether perhaps you were not as chosen as you once thought. But now you understand, faith untested is faith unproven. The silence was not abandonment, it was examination. Every true warrior must pass through midnight before they meet the morning. It is here that strength is measured not by what you can see, but by what you can still believe. Heaven watches in these quiet hours, not looking for perfection, but for endurance. God is not grading your performance, He is fortifying your foundation. What matters most in the test is not how loudly you declare faith, but how quietly you hold on to it when no one is listening. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. That is the anthem of those who survive the midnight. Keeping faith is not about never questioning. It's about choosing to believe even while trembling. It's about saying, I don't understand, but I still trust. You have done that more times than you realize. Every sigh, every whispered prayer, Every refusal to give up when it would have been easier to stop, those were victories. They counted in heaven even when they felt invisible on earth. The midnight test exposes what daylight disguises. In daylight, strength looks loud, but at midnight, it looks like quiet surrender. It's the choice to stay still when everything in you wants to run. It's the decision to keep loving when you could harden your heart. It's continuing to show up, to serve, to believe, even when no one else claps for you. That kind of faith terrifies darkness. You see, chosen one, midnight is not punishment, it's preparation. The silence builds spiritual muscle. When you can hold faith through the absence of evidence, you become unstoppable. Because dawn always comes for those who refuse to let go of hope in the dark. Heaven always rewards those who pass the test by simply staying. There is a sacred beauty in what you've endured. You've learned that peace is not found in the absence of chaos, but in the awareness of divine presence within it. You've learned that joy can coexist with sorrow, and that worship can sound like tears. Those are lessons only the midnight can teach. The darkness taught you discernment, how to tell the difference between delay and denial, between silence and strategy. It taught you to stop chasing signs and start trusting stillness. That is the maturity of a chosen one, knowing that God's presence is not always loud, but it is always near. The longer the night, the greater the dawn. You've been walking toward that dawn all along, even when you couldn't see it. Every step you took in the dark was bringing you closer to breakthrough. And though your feet may have stumbled, your spirit never stopped moving forward. The test was never about speed, it was about survival. You passed simply because you did not quit. Now, look closely. The horizon is beginning to change. The faintest shimmer of light is rising, not because the battle ended, but because your endurance summoned a new season. Heaven has been waiting for this moment. The instant your perseverance completes its work, for what was once hidden in shadow will now be revealed in brilliance. You may still feel weary, but that's only because you've been fighting long. The exhaustion you feel is not weakness, it's evidence of investment. You poured yourself into faith when the world gave you nothing back, and heaven calls that worship. Chosen one, the midnight no longer owns you. You have learned how to walk through it without losing your flame. You've discovered that even in darkness, light is not absent, it is internal. You carry the glow that midnight could not smother, and because of that, the dawn that is coming will not find you broken, but ready. When morning arrives, others will see your strength, but only you and heaven will know the cost of it. Only you will know the nights that built the faith that now shines. So, stand in quiet triumph. You have passed the midnight test. The light that rises next will not merely touch you, it will reveal the warrior you've become. You are not standing alone. Chosen one. The field around you that once felt barren is now stirring with unseen movement. You may not see them with your eyes, but heaven's reinforcements have already arrived. The air carries their rhythm, the sound of wings brushing eternity, the vibration of divine footsteps walking beside you. You are not surrounded by danger, you are surrounded by angels. When you stood your ground, when you refused to bow to despair, heaven took notice. Your faith became a signal flare in the spirit, a light the angels could see from eternity's edge. The moment you said, "I will not give up," the armies of heaven began to march. You are not outnumbered. You never were. What looked like isolation was a setup for revelation. Heaven has always fought for you. Now, it fights with you. It was written in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." That is not poetry, it is a military decree. The word command carries authority. It means heaven has issued orders on your behalf. The angels are not hovering randomly, they have an assignment to guard, to guide, and to go before you. They operate by divine strategy, forming a living wall of protection around your purpose. Sometimes their presence comes as peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes it's the sudden calm when anxiety should have ruled. Sometimes it's that gentle nudge that says, "Wait," when you were about to walk into harm. You have felt it, even if you didn't know what to call it. The warmth that comes when you cry out in exhaustion, the inexplicable comfort that wraps around you when you whisper, "God, I can't do this anymore." That is not imagination. That is assistance. The world often forgets that heaven moves quietly. Angels rarely announce themselves with spectacle. Their strength is disguised in stillness. They don't always roar. Sometimes they whisper. They move in the margins, in the unseen corridors of your days, rearranging events, protecting your path from accidents you never knew were planned against you. You have walked through moments where disaster should have found you, yet it didn't. You were preserved, redirected, hidden in plain sight. That was not coincidence, it was orchestration. Your destiny is too precious for randomness. Heaven guards what it invests in, and you are one of heaven's highest investments. Chosen one. This awareness is not given to make you proud, it is to make you peaceful. You can walk into the unknown with calm certainty, because the unseen army goes before you. Their loyalty is not based on your perfection, but on God's promise. They respond not to fear, but to faith. The moment you believe, they move. Your prayers summon reinforcement faster than your panic does. Heaven's military language is built on trust. The angels respond to authority, and your authority flows from alignment. When your words echo truth, they become orders heaven recognizes. That is why speaking faith is so crucial. It activates your army. When you declare light in the face of darkness, the angelic hosts are released to execute that decree. Every time you choose love over revenge, an angel rejoices. Every time you forgive, a sword is raised on your behalf. When you walk in humility, you expand your spiritual territory. The angels recognize rank, and humility is heaven's highest rank. You may feel small in the world's eyes, but in the unseen realm, your name carries command weight. There will be moments when you sense warfare again, when fear whispers, "You're alone." But now, you will remember what the truth says: you are never unguarded, even in your sleep. The watch continues. While your eyes close, theirs remain open. They surround your bed, encircle your home, walk ahead of your steps. The path before you is not empty, it is escorted. You don't need to chase supernatural encounters to believe this. The greatest evidence is the peace that follows the knowing. Rest in that. You are covered on every side. You are seen, defended, and loved. The one who called you has also commanded his armies to protect what he planted within you. This is the era of divine reinforcement. Heaven's ranks are shifting, repositioning for the next phase of your journey. The enemy will try to convince you you're walking alone. But the truth is, you are walking with heaven's military formation. The very gates of hell cannot stand against the coordinated defense surrounding you. Chosen one, if your spirit feels the weight of this truth, if something in you recognizes that unseen presence standing near, then mark this moment. Let heaven know you understand, and let darkness know you're aware. Comment the number 555 below. That number is a symbol of divine grace and heavenly movement. It declares that heaven's hand is actively reshaping your path. When you type it, you're not typing digits, you're testifying alignment. You are agreeing that angelic forces are already in position, that your steps are ordered, and your future secured. So walk with peace, not pride. Walk with confidence, not control. You are escorted by light. Heaven's army marches beside you. The victory is not only promised, it's protected. It often happens, chosen one, that just when you begin to glimpse victory, the battle flares again. The air grows tense. The weight returns, and doubts creep in like smoke. You may wonder, why now? Why does the pressure return when I've already come so far? The truth is, the enemy's final strategy is always desperation. When victory is near, resistance intensifies. The counterattack of the enemy is not a sign of regression, it is proof that breakthrough is close enough to threaten darkness. You have felt this pattern before. Every time you approached a door of change, chaos rose to meet you. Unexpected problems appeared. Relationships strained. Emotions swelled. You mistook it for punishment, but it was confirmation. The adversary always fights loudest when he knows his time is short. His fury is a signpost, not a warning. It means something holy is about to unfold. We are reminded through the writings of Peter in his first letter. Chapter 5, verse 8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. That roar is what you've been hearing, the noise of intimidation. But listen closely, for the roar is hollow. The lion you fear has already been defanged by the cross. His power lies in deception, not domination. The moment you stop believing his lies, you strip him of influence. Awareness is your armor. Discernment is your defense. This counterattack always comes wrapped in familiarity. Old temptations resurface. Memories reappear. Fatigue revisits. The enemy doesn't create new weapons. He reuses old ones because he has studied your past reactions. He knows which buttons once triggered you, which wounds once silenced you. But what he fails to see is how much you've changed. The person he attacked last season is not the one standing now. You are no longer reacting from pain, you are responding from wisdom. That is what terrifies him most, your awareness. The mature believer is unshaken, not because the battle ceased, but because the battleground has shifted from panic to peace. You have learned that warfare is not only fought with effort but with posture. Stillness has become your new strategy. Instead of running from resistance, you now recognize it as confirmation that you're moving in divine direction. Chosen one, when darkness throws everything it has at you, heaven smiles, because it knows you will endure. The very storm meant to crush you will instead reveal your authority. When the enemy returns with old lies, you're not enough. You'll never change. You're still who you were. Your spirit will rise and answer. I am redeemed. I am chosen. I am sealed. And every time you speak that truth, the shadows lose ground. You've entered a stage of battle where not every hit requires a response. Silence has become your shield. When confusion comes, you no longer debate it, you dismiss it. When fear whispers, you breathe peace instead of panic. You've learned that the war is not always won by shouting louder, but by standing firmer. There is wisdom in your wounds now. Every scar tells a story of something that tried to destroy you and failed. You are not a victim of attack, you are proof of victory. The very existence of your peace in the middle of chaos is your greatest warfare tactic. Hell doesn't know what to do with someone who refuses to break. But even so, the counterattack tests your resolve. Fatigue is a tactic. The enemy hopes exhaustion will make you drop your guard. He knows if he can't stop your faith, he might distract it. That is why you must rest as an act of resistance. To pause and breathe is not laziness, it's strategy. Every moment you rest in God, you reinforce your fortress. There will be nights when the old heaviness creeps back, when you wonder if you're truly free. In those moments, remember, deliverance is not the absence of battle. It's the awareness that the battle no longer defines you. You can stand amid fire and remain untouched, because your identity is now rooted in light. You are learning, day by day, to fight smarter, to see warfare as a dance between endurance and faith. You no longer tremble at the roar. You recognize the pattern, and because you recognize it, you already hold the upper hand. When the counterattack comes, don't retreat, reaffirm. Reaffirm your peace, your focus, your trust. Whisper truth into the chaos until the noise fades. Every moment you refuse to be moved, the enemy loses ground. Every breath of calm you take is an earthquake in the unseen. Chosen one. Understand this, the counterattack is the final echo of a collapsing kingdom. The darkness is lashing out because it knows it has lost. Stand through this last surge, and you will step into a peace no storm can reach. What once intimidated you will become your testimony. For every roar that rises against you, there is a whisper, stronger still, the whisper of victory that says, "It is finished." The enemy can't undo that truth. He can only try to distract you from it. Do not be distracted. Stay awake. Stay aligned. Stay anchored. The counterattack will pass, but the strength it awakens in you will remain forever. It begins quietly. Chosen one, like the faint hum of a dawn wind before the sun breaks the horizon. After the long night of warfare, after the counterattacks and the weary prayers, something begins to move in the spirit. It is not chaos this time. It is rhythm. It is order. It is victory rising. You can feel it before you can name it, a warmth within your chest, a sudden ease in your breathing, the sense that something heavy has finally shifted. This is the sound of triumph, not born from noise, but from fulfillment. Victory never arrives with fanfare. It does not need applause to announce itself. It comes like light seeping through cracks, touching everything it once could not reach. You have felt defeat so long that peace might feel unfamiliar, but this is peace nonetheless. The sound of victory is not a shout that startles the earth. It is a resonance that shakes eternity. It is heaven whispering, "Well done. You have fought through unseen battles, resisted invisible chains, and walked faithfully through storms that could have ended you. Now, every ounce of endurance becomes melody. Your scars are notes. Your breath is rhythm. Together, They compose a song only survivors can sing. The apostle wrote in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 14, "But thanks be to God, who always leads us in triumph in Christ and manifests through us the fragrance of his knowledge in every place." There it is, the hidden beauty of victory. It does not only change you, it changes the atmosphere around you. When heaven leads you in triumph, it's not just so you can celebrate, it's so that others can smell the fragrance of freedom on you. The same places that once carried your tears will now carry your testimony. Every space you step into becomes a sanctuary. Every conversation, a chance for light to travel further. Victory is not loud because it does not need to prove itself. The world glorifies the conqueror who shouts, but heaven crowns the one who endures in silence. True triumph is not about domination, it's about transformation. You win not by crushing enemies, but by refusing to become like them. You have emerged from the furnace without losing your gentleness. And that is divine conquest. You have been forged through pain. And now you gleam with purpose. The weight that once pressed you down has become the very foundation that steadies you. What once broke you now bows to you. The storm that tried to drown you has become the wind that lifts you. The echoes of fear have become the harmony of faith. You are not just surviving, you are glowing. And heaven's light radiates through every fracture you once tried to hide. Listen, chosen one, to the quiet glory of this moment. The chains are gone, but the lessons remain. You do not despise the battle because you have seen what it built within you. You have learned to treasure the process as much as the promise. You understand now that strength without struggle is shallow, and peace without perseverance cannot last. You have become durable, holy, dangerous to darkness. Victory changes how you walk. There is no rush in your steps anymore, no panic in your prayers. You move with certainty now, the kind that only comes from endurance. You are no longer begging for breakthrough, you are breakthrough embodied. When others look at you, they will see not perfection, but peace that makes no sense, strength that doesn't shout, authority that flows gently. That is the mark of one who has conquered. You might expect celebration to surround you now, but often victory feels quiet because it is sacred. Heaven rejoices even when earth stays silent. Your applause comes not from crowds but from creation itself. The very ground beneath your feet honors your persistence. Every sunrise you see now feels like a promise kept. Every breath like a gift multiplied. And though victory brings rest, it also brings responsibility. You have crossed into the realm of stewardship. The freedom you've received is not to be hoarded, it's to be shared. The healed are sent to heal, the delivered to deliver, the restored to rebuild. You are no longer just a fighter, you are a finisher. You carry strategies for those still caught in the middle of their storm. Your scars are maps showing others the way out. The sound of victory grows louder now, not because you shout, but because heaven is amplifying your life. Every act of kindness becomes a note. Every prayer whispered for another becomes an echo. You are a living hymn, a symphony composed by mercy. Chosen one. Stand still for a moment. Feel the vibration under your feet, the steady hum of completion. This is what the end of battle feels like, not exhaustion, but exaltation, not chaos, but calm. You have become the sound you once listened for. You are the victory. The fire that once threatened to consume you has become your crown. Chosen one. The season of refinement has ended, and what remains is pure gold, tested, proven, radiant. You are no longer walking through flames, you are walking with them. The same heat that once burned your hope now burns through every trace of fear. You have become what heaven calls refined glory. Every chosen soul must face the furnace. It is not punishment, it is purification. Gold does not complain when it meets fire. It understands that fire reveals its true worth. You, too, have been in that process. The disappointments, the losses, the moments when you asked, "Why me?" They were not random. They were the divine forge. Every heartbreak was a hammer, shaping your character. Every silence was a flame, melting away the unnecessary. Heaven speaks through the prophet Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, "I will bring that third through the fire. I will refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them." And he has answered you. The voice that was once distant now dwells within your spirit. The presence that once felt far away now walks beside you in every breath. You have not only survived the fire, you have inherited it. What tried to destroy you has instead decorated you. Your light does not flicker anymore. It glows steady, regal, crowned in flame. Chosen one. There is something holy about those who rise from ashes. They see the world differently. They do not boast about survival. They testify of transformation. You no longer speak from pain, you speak from power. Your tone carries the authority of one who has met both darkness and deliverance and chosen light. You are not bitter, you are blazing. Now, your task shifts. The world needs the warmth of your flame. Somewhere out there is another soul still trembling in their furnace, wondering if they will ever emerge. They do not need a sermon, they need a spark. Your story might be the ember that ignites their hope again. When you share, you are not just recounting events, you are lighting torches in other people's hearts. Think of your words like lanterns hanging on a dark road. Every person who hears your story and finds courage to continue, that is a flame multiplied. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you're not feeding an algorithm, you're feeding a fire. You're helping light find another lost traveler. Every click, every gesture is a match struck against despair. And if your heart feels stirred to do more, to pour back into what has poured into you, then give not out of pressure, but out of gratitude. Think of your support, your donation, as oil for the lamp. Without oil, even the purest flame grows dim. But when believers unite in generosity, the light stretches farther than any single spark ever could. Imagine a field at night. One candle alone can barely break the darkness, but 1,000 held high can turn midnight into morning. You are part of that illumination. Your giving, your sharing, your engagement, these are not small acts. They are seeds of light sown into the soil of eternity. Each one ensures that another message of hope will reach another weary soul in time. You see, this movement is not built on noise, it is built on need. People across the world are scrolling through shadows, aching for something real, something that feels like breath again. When you help this message spread, you're not boosting a platform, you're extending a hand into someone else's night. You're reminding them that heaven still speaks, still heals, still calls ordinary hearts into extraordinary destinies. Chosen one, let your generosity be as creative as your compassion. Share what you can, your time, your voice, your influence, your resources. Every drop becomes part of a divine river that keeps this message flowing. No contribution is too small, no act of kindness too quiet. Even a whisper of love can echo through eternity. You are proof that refined fire doesn't destroy, it defines. You wear your scars like jewels, your lessons like armor. You have become a living testimony of what endurance can create. So, let your life preach. Let your giving glow. Let your light travel further than your voice ever could. And when you pause to comment below, let it be your offering of agreement, your way of saying, I'm part of this flame. Heaven watches such acts and smiles. Because unity multiplies light faster than any single miracle ever could. You have been crowned in fire. And your purpose now is simple: keep others warm. The world grows colder by the hour. But your flame, your faith, your generosity, they are the proof that love still burns. So go forth, radiant one, wear your fire with grace. Give it freely, share it boldly, and let heaven's warmth continue through your hands. The crown is already yours, not made of gold, but of glow. When the dust of battle finally settles, chosen one, silence arrives, not the kind that threatens, but the kind that heals. You stand now amid the aftermath of glory, in a field once filled with noise and chaos, now quiet and still. The storm has passed. The echoes of swords, the cries of struggle, the weight of survival all fade into a distant hum. What remains is sacred stillness. This is not emptiness, it is completion. You look around and see the remnants of what was broken walls, fallen giants, the ashes of old fears. But something within you has shifted. You no longer see ruins, you see revelation. Every scar in the landscape mirrors one within you. But both tell the same story: survival with purpose. The ground you stand on is not desolate, it is holy, for it bears the imprint of divine victory. There is a peace that only comes after the fight, a calm that feels almost unfamiliar. You might feel both gratitude and grief woven together, because endings often hold both. You grieve what was lost, yet you bow in awe before what remains. This is the aftermath of glory, the quiet season where heaven rebuilds you in reflection before releasing you into restoration. The ancient words written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, declare to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. This is what you are witnessing now, the sacred exchange. Heaven is trading your ashes for beauty, your fatigue for renewal, your sorrow for song. The ground that once knew your tears now knows your triumph. You have been transformed not only in spirit but in perspective. Where you once saw pain, you now see preparation. Where you once saw defeat, you now recognize divine design. You realize something profound. The battle was never about winning or losing, it was about becoming. Every hardship was sculpting the person who could carry the promise. You would not have survived this if you were still who you used to be. The fire forced the transformation. The struggle stripped away illusions, leaving only what was eternal. You have emerged not just stronger, but clearer. You finally understand that glory is not the absence of struggle, it is the revelation of purpose within it. In this quiet aftermath, You learn to breathe differently. Your prayers no longer sound desperate, they sound grateful. You don't beg heaven anymore, you walk with it. You no longer ask, "When will I be free?" but rather, "What will I do with this freedom?" You begin to see that the power you once sought has been within you all along, waiting for surrender to unlock it. Around you, the battlefield glows faintly with the residue of miracles. The ground hums with memory. Every drop of your perseverance has watered seeds that are now breaking through the soil. Something new is growing here, something pure, quiet, and strong. You can almost hear it in the wind, the whisper of new beginnings. This is where warriors become builders. After battle, there is always rebuilding. But you do not rebuild the same way you once lived. You build with wisdom now, with patience, gratitude, and clarity. You understand that not every voice deserves your attention. Not every fight deserves your energy. You've learned the rare art of peace, choosing battles that align with your purpose instead of your pride. It feels strange at first, this calm. You've lived in motion for so long that stillness feels foreign. But stillness is not stagnation, it is restoration. God rests in silence, and so must you. This quiet does not erase your fire, it refines it. It teaches you to carry light without burning out. You have walked through battlefields and emerged as both soldier and sage. Your eyes carry depth now. Your heart carries softness. You understand mercy in a way only the wounded can. That is glory, the ability to stay tender after being tested. As you walk through the ruins, you realize they are not ruins at all. They are foundations. What broke has become the base of what will be built next. Every scar on your soul has become sacred architecture, proof that divine hands have shaped you. You were not destroyed, you were designed. And now, as the horizon stretches ahead, you sense that something even greater awaits, not another war, but another calling. The aftermath of glory is not an ending, it is a new genesis. The soil that once absorbed your pain now holds your purpose. From the ashes of exhaustion, the fragrance of renewal rises. Chosen one, this peace is not temporary. It is eternal awareness, the understanding that you are never truly defeated, never truly alone. The same God who led you through the fire now walks beside you through the fields of quiet restoration. What you carry now cannot be stolen, because it is no longer external, it has become essence. The world will one day look at you and see light. But only you and heaven will know the cost of that glow. You will smile softly, not with pride, but with peace, knowing that every tear watered the roots of this moment. The aftermath is not the end of glory, it is the proof that glory was real. And now, chosen one, the journey draws to its divine horizon. The air feels different here still, luminous, filled with the quiet hum of eternity. You have walked through storms and silence, through trials and triumphs. And now you stand where purpose meets permanence. This is the moment heaven always intended, the eternal stand. You can sense it deep within your spirit, the awareness that something holy has completed its course. What once felt fragmented now feels whole. The scars, the struggles, the questions that haunted you, all find their place in the grand mosaic of divine intention. You realize that nothing was wasted. Every wound became a doorway to wisdom. Every delay, a detour into deeper strength. What the enemy meant for destruction has become your crown of endurance. It is quiet here, but not empty. The silence hums with meaning. You can almost hear the rhythm of eternity pulsing beneath your feet, reminding you that what you've endured is not ending, it is evolving. The battles that once defined you have transformed into lessons that now guide you. You no longer fight from desperation, you stand from revelation. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13, "But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved." Those words are no longer theory to you, they are lived truth. You have stood when others fell, believed when others doubted, held fast when everything within you wanted to let go. Salvation is not just escape, it is endurance rewarded. The end was never about finishing, it was about remaining. You are standing now as more than a survivor, you are a sentinel of light, a guardian appointed to hold your ground so others may find theirs. Your endurance has become inheritance. The ground beneath your feet is consecrated because you chose not to retreat. You are part of the great continuum of those who refused to bow when the world demanded surrender. Look closely at what surrounds you. The landscape is no longer battlefield nor wilderness, it is kingdom ground. What once was scarred soil now blooms with promise. The same territory that witnessed your tears now blossoms under your steps. The divine paradox is complete. The place of your greatest pain has become the platform of your greatest purpose. This eternal stand is not a posture of pride but of peace. You are not defying heaven, you are aligning with it. To stand in faith is to rest in certainty. You no longer need to strive to prove your worth. Your endurance has already proven it. Every fiber of your being now vibrates with quiet authority, the kind that does not need to shout to be obeyed. You understand now that being chosen was never about exemption from pain, it was about transformation through it. To be chosen is to be refined until you resemble the one who called you. You bear his fingerprints in your patience, his fire in your eyes, his mercy in your words. The journey has not only revealed who you are, it has revealed who he is through you. And though you stand alone in form, you are never alone in essence. Around you, unseen multitudes of other chosen ones rise too. Their light intertwines with yours, forming a constellation of faith that pierces the fabric of darkness. Together, you form the eternal witness, the living declaration that love endures. Faith prevails, and truth never dies. This is what eternity feels like, not endless time, but unbreakable peace. There is no rush, no anxiety, no striving here, only steady presence. The eternal stand is not a moment you wait for in the afterlife. It is a state of being that begins now. It is the awareness that your soul is anchored in something that cannot be shaken. You stand not as the person who began this journey, but as the one who was forged by it. The timid heart has become courageous. The broken spirit has become whole. The questioning mind has become wise. Heaven has shaped you into a vessel that can carry both fire and stillness. You are no longer the seeker of light. You have become its steward, chosen one. Look at your hands. They once trembled under the weight of fear, but now they glow with quiet purpose. Look at your heart. It once fractured under disappointment, but now beats with holy rhythm. Look at your path. It once felt lost in shadow, but now shines like crystal under the dawn. You are the evidence that God still completes what he begins. This is the fulfillment of the journey, not victory over others, but mastery over self. You have conquered doubt, pride, despair, and delay. You have walked through every valley, and now you stand on sacred ground that stretches into forever. Your destiny is no longer a destination, it is your posture, your presence, your eternal yes to heaven's call. The heavens do not thunder now, they simply breathe in satisfaction. You have become the answer to the prayer you once prayed. You are what perseverance looks like when it takes human form. The eternal stand is not about motion, it's about meaning. You stand because you understand. You endure because you have already overcome. And so, as eternity leans close to witness, you remain rooted, radiant, resolute, a light that no darkness can extinguish. The journey is complete, yet just beginning. For what stands with God never falls, and what is refined by fire never fades. You, chosen one, are that eternal flame. The journey ends here. Beloved chosen one, but endings are only beginnings in disguise. You have walked through every shadow, every storm, and every silence. Now, you stand as living proof that faith wins, that light endures, and that purpose never dies. The story has been written in your scars, sung through your survival, and sealed by your endurance. Yet, this message is not meant to stay with you alone. The world is full of hearts still wandering through their own battles, searching for the same hope that found you here. So, before you leave this sacred space, let your light ripple outward. Like this message so others may feel its warmth. Share it so another weary soul can hear heaven's whisper. Subscribe so you never walk this road alone again. And when you comment, let your words be your testimony, your way of saying, I am still standing. Every click, every share, every word of faith you release sends a spark into the dark. Together, those sparks form the fire that will keep others from giving up. You are part of that fire now, the everlasting flame of God's chosen ones.